Be strong.
Get your glow sticks out. It's here. Week 17, roster the people. Neil Smith at thatFFnerd, Jason Draven. We did it. We did it. It's a bittersweet show every year, Jason, because this is the last roster the people of 2023. That's the bitter part. The sweet part is it's championship week. So if you're still here and you're still listening to this, you either love the sound of our voices, which statistically I don't buy, or you have questions and we have answers, and we're going to try and take you through this. I am in the right place this time. I did get to the right channel. We did it. I triple checked it. I made sure that we're not going to have a repeat of last week where I'm in the wrong stupid StreamYard room, because literacy is clearly not my strong point. But we're here. We did it. So we are going to take everybody through this lovely, awesome last Thursday night football game of the year as well. Saved a good one for us, clearly. Browns, Jets, the immortal Joe Flacco. Oh my God. So yeah, it's a big one. We do have some questions as people kind of file in here, so we're going to start just rattling these off as quickly as we can. Broncos or Jets, or there are other options as well, it looks like.
Yeah. Let me double check. I'm pretty sure I still have Jets the highest of those.
I believe I have the Jets pretty high. I don't think you could realistically talk me off the Jets on this one.
Yeah, nope. It's definitely going to be the Jets, but then I have it. Let's see. Broncos, Raiders, Texans.
Yeah, I have the Jets one spot higher than the Broncos. So you've got the right to. I don't like anybody else from that list more. And I would go with the Jets tonight, Anthony. That's what I would do. Especially with the big news story. No Amari Cooper tonight, which makes me want to start the Jets even harder. So I'm kind of hoping this game ends up 3-0 and there's no meaningful offense for very, very, very selfish reasons. That would really be awesome. So, all right, we're both going to take the Jets. Yes, thank you, Daniel. Yes, I did get to the right room this time. I have the Browns defense really high, even with the no Amari Cooper. I have the Browns defense as the number one overall defense. So that's what I'm doing. It's a good defense. I get it's a short week, but you've probably been riding them all season. I'm going to run them out one more time. That's what I'm going to do. So yeah, Jason, are you going to talk me off, try and talk anybody off the Browns?
I mean, the only reason I really would like the Raiders is the fact that possibly Palmer and maybe Allen are going to be out.
Maybe
that makes it, but it's just
I'm dancing with who brought me.
I'm thinking, well, yeah, I was thinking the Broncos, not the Raiders. Raiders are going to be fine. I don't know,
but I'm saying it's Browns or Raiders is the actual question. I have Browns number one overall, so it's not a question for me.
Wow, you still number one, even without
doesn't make any difference. Doesn't make much of a difference. Like it's that's kind of where I'm. So they get more opportunities with their broken offense. Okay, not overly worried about it. And even if it wasn't, I wouldn't be going all the way down to the Raiders, who I have at like 15.
Oh no, I have them in top 5. That's the only reason I even had it as a question.
Ooh. Colts aren't that bad.
Well, I'm sure if Pittman is clear to go. Yeah, I'm fine with Browns. It's not that big a deal.
All right.
Stroud.
Yeah, no, you're not. I'm not playing Flacco with no. Get that out of your head. No Flacco with no Cooper. He's not hanging with Mr. Cooper this week, so we're not doing that. Is Hall safe to roll with tonight? I would need to know who your other options are, but yeah, you probably don't have better options than that. Hall, Mixon, Walker, sit 1.
Walker still not 100%, but assuming he plays, I'll probably end up sitting Mixon.
I would play Mixon and Hall just because I'm not convinced Walker's going to play.
Correct.
And if he does, he might be limited. So I'll deal with that. What's up, Daniel? All right. Browning, Stroud, or drop one for Flacco, Carr. No.
And a super flex, I'm okay playing Mayfield
Not a
over
super
Browning. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
a standard league. In a standard league, no. I'm just probably going to play. I'm going to play. Yeah, I've got Stroud. Stroud is who I go with. I go back to the well. Half PPR: Chuba, Najee, or Wilson.
I don't think
Wilson.
Yeah, it's probably going to be. Oh, I'm probably going to go Chuba and Wilson.
Yeah.
I'm nervous on Wilson still, but
I'm nervous on Wilson as well, just because you never
More
fully
upside
know,
Wilson.
and it's ugly as hell. But
outside.
I would sit Najee because you'd want the backup plan on the off chance Chuba can't go. So I'm going to play Chuba and Wilson, sitting Najee. That way you have a backup plan. What up, Polo?
Hey, Polo.
Fields, Stroud, or drop one for... No, you're going to play either Fields or Stroud. For Flacco, Brissett, Mayfield, or Carr, I don't like any of those choices more than I like the two you already have in-house.
Yeah.
I don't think you can screw up with the Fields or Stroud thing. I'd be fine with that. Opponent has CJ Stroud. Put Noah Brown in my lineup to try and get some points if he goes off. Pick 2. Brown, JSN, McLaurin, or Dobbs.
Well, DK just popped up on the injury report, so I'm looking at Dobbs and JSN right now. If DK plays, I'll probably then go to McLaurin. But the fact that pretty much every other Packers wide receiver is out makes Dobbs look hard, very difficult to sit at this point.
That's how you spell that. Spelling is hard. That's why they abbreviate everything. Yeah, I'm gonna play. This is actually a real question, so I'm giving it a little bit of attention here because this is far enough down to where you have to actually like do stuff. So the way I have it right now on Thursday night is the way I have it right. These are all really close. That's why it's an interesting question. The way I have it right now is I would play Terry McLaurin and Noah Brown, but I would ask me this question on Sunday because this technically doesn't need to be made until Sunday. But that's kind of what I would do. Right now I have it as Brown and McLaurin. But if there's some universe where DK is officially ruled out, then it's going to pivot to JSN. He's going to move up. And I would probably sit either Brown or McLaurin. All right. Daniel, I'm sorry. A lot of people are cooked. Ford or Montgomery? It's Montgomery for me.
Yeah, I'm real nervous with
Over Ford.
Yeah. Also, Hunt.
I'm playing Montgomery.
He's also probably going to see more targets now. Like target distribution is going to be very interesting this week.
Yeah, it's going to be weird. And then sit one of these: Brees, Etienne, Higgins, Rashi Rice.
It's probably. It's Higgins if Chase plays. Otherwise, it's probably going to be Etienne.
This is another one that's pretty tough.
Because I mean, what I really want to do is make sure I'm playing Higgins and Rice if Chase is out, because that should be one of the higher scoring games. So it's hard to get away from him. And then Hall is clearly just again, assuming PPR, he sees more targets than Etienne, which boosts him up above him.
Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough one. I would probably want to play. If I'm sitting one of these, for me, it's likely going to be. Hang on, double checking. Yeah, for me, if I'm sitting one of these, it's either Higgins or it's Brees. I'd probably sit Higgins if I had to sit one of these. That's probably what I would end up doing. Okay. Standard needs one. Ford, Charbonnet, Chase Brown, Roshan, Murray. Okay, there's way too many choices. You can clip off the hill, Murray, Roshan. It's 4.
Oh, it's already gone, guys. Of these, I'm probably going to go with the safe play here and just roll out Ford. I think the game is going to be really just set for Foreman or Herbert, whoever. I'm assuming Foreman's the one who's back now that his issue's been theoretically handled. So that gets me away from Roshan. So I'm likely just going to roll Ford since he should see.
I don't know if my audio cut out, but we agree it's Ford. You're playing Ford tonight, Daniel. We agree.
Yes, you did.
Whatever. It's fine. I'm back. Mixon, Brees. We got to go fast is why I'm doing this. Mixon, Brees, Cook, pick 2.
Holland.
I sit Brees.
Oh.
Yep. And okay. Pick 2 for PPR. Brees, Montgomery, Zamir White, Ty Chandler.
Holland, White if Jacobs is out. Otherwise, I'm probably going to pivot to Chandler.
Hall and Chandler is what I like. Noah Brown. That's the answer.
It's pretty great.
Noah Brown for the pure upside. Ford, Zeke, Connor, Brian Robinson in a standard league.
Zeke.
Yeah. Sit Ford. That's the only part of this that matters, Daniel. You're not playing Ford tonight with those other options.
And you're not playing Robinson, who's potentially coming back from injury. So
quickly, Scary Terry, Shaheed, Godwin, Thielen, sit 1. That's the second part of this.
Okay. I was like, sit 1.
He split
Thielen.
it. Agree, Thielen. And last one before we get to the cutoff, I think. Full PPR, Garrett Wilson, Jaden Reed, Ty Chandler, James Conner, Goddard, or Herbert.
Reed if he goes. Otherwise, I would pivot to Chandler.
I think I'm just playing Chandler. I want to avoid Garrett Wilson tonight if I can. And Minshew or Stick.
Minshew. Mostly because we still
Minshew for me as well.
Yeah, it's mostly because we don't know about Allen or Palmer, which is terrifying.
Right. We don't know about either. And then, okay, that's the last Thursday night question, folks. You got 1 minute. If you can get it in quick enough, we'll do it. But I think we got them all here. And with that, I add Lance into the fray here. Sorry, Lance. I couldn't break that. That had to get done on the cut line because it do be like that. I am not worried about Madison at all. They've already publicly stated that Madison is now relegated to being the backup for the remainder of the year. And frankly, I'm not worried about Madison as it relates to fantasy football moving forward.
Yeah.
That is what she said. That is very much what she said. So there you go, folks. Thursday night championship. We got it in. We got them done. We got them all answered. And now we'll wait for some more questions to come in. So since we've kind of cleared the backlog, we're good here. So we're going to, while the game starts and kind of starts kicking along, we're going to go and do something a little differently than normal. Jason, who's your QB star of the week?
Whoa. Derek Carr versus the Buccaneers. Love this matchup. I think it's a good time. Carr has all of his weapons good to go. I'm super excited for him. And with Joe Flacco, he literally moved into my top 12 because of it. So I'm ready to fire him up. Shouldn't be any issues. The secondary for the Bucs continues to struggle and really be their weakness. So Carr's going to have to throw. Kamara also hasn't been doing anything outside of the passing game. So roll him out. He's going to be throwing it.
He will have to throw it. For me, it's Gardner Minshew. It's a great matchup, and it's a situation where there's just going to be volume aplenty for you. There will be so much volume in this game. He would be even higher if I knew Pittman was playing. But Minshew is the one that I'm looking at where it's like that man is just going to grip it and rip it. And I know that the Raiders played well against the Raiders defense played well against Mahomes, but that team is kind of fundamentally broken right now. Whereas the Colts are just going to huck it, and there's going to be plenty of dump offs for Taylor. So I'm not scared.
Well, the issue that I have with it being him checking it down is that he actually doesn't throw it to Taylor. Not a single time.
It's not helping.
The target went to Taylor, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Get him the ball.
That is not. Mike, no! He missed it by 1 minute. Well, we'll answer the question.
He's fine.
Anyway.
It probably would have been the Jets, but
I would have played the Jets, but if you ended up playing the Ravens, it's
also top
okay.
12.
And thank you for the kind words, Mike, by the way. We see Mike on Sundays quite a bit.
Mike was just being a creeper and watching and forgot to ask.
Yeah, I just completely forgot to type his question in. I've seen that before. Lance, who's your quarterback start of the week? Who do you like?
I would go Jake Browning against Kansas City. I think this game is. I don't think it's going to be your classic.
He's not going to throw for 64 total yards?
No, I think he'll
do better than that? Okay.
A little bit better than that. And, I think obviously he's had the rushing upside in previous weeks too. So I think he's in store for a good week this week.
All right. And then Jason, who's your sit of the week there?
Mostly because I'm terrified of Jared Goff on the road. It's Jared Goff versus the Cowboys. It's terrifying to me. The fact that he should actually be more focused on running it more than anything else, and I think Gibbs is really a benefactor of that. It's going to be all the short area stuff, and then hopefully Amon-Ra is still going to be fine. I think all of his touchdowns are really going to be them trying not to mess it up and ground and pound it.
Boy, if they want to just poo the bed in a massive way against the Cowboys, that would really help me out for very selfish reasons that are hugely selfish. Really help me out if they want to go ahead and suck against the Cowboys. Lance, who's your sit of the week?
I think Kyler Murray is going to have his day ruined by the Philadelphia defense. They're coming off a string of tough losses right now. I think they're just going to tee off on Kyler Murray, and obviously he's a little banged up with he has an illness, but it's the Cardinals. They've been kind of ganged up on all year.
It's almost like they're really, really bad. For me, it's actually going to be what should have been a controversial opinion, but is actually kind of not a controversial opinion right now. It's Patrick Mahomes. He has been absolutely brutal. This information is not helpful to anyone because no one will listen to what I'm saying. It makes absolutely no difference what I say. I know that Patrick Mahomes is functionally untradeable, and he's basically everybody's favorite Kermit the Frog. They love him, and he can do no wrong because he's the golden child, but his numbers are bad, objectively. If you take the names off the jerseys and just remove that element of it and remove biases, he has been objectively terrible. His numbers are worse than Russell Wilson's. And that's not just me making that up. I will find this. Here it is. I bookmarked it. Wilson in 2023 has 28 passing touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He is averaging, 26 passing touchdowns. Excuse me. I gave him too many. Wilson's got 26 touchdowns, 8 picks, averaging 6.9 yards per attempt, 3 rushing touchdowns. Mahomes, 26 passing touchdowns, 14 picks, 6.9 yards per attempt, 0 rushing touchdowns. That ain't what you paid for in the draft, ladies. That ain't what you wanted. And this is why I've been laughing, because we've been talking about this in the background about how nobody would trade Mahomes at the deadline. They are all sitting there. I want a first-round pick. He's the best quarterback ever. And like a whole bunch of other crap. But I'm telling you right now, that team has to figure out their wide receiving situation. It cannot be this in the future. I know he's talented. I know he's good. And I know everybody just loves Patrick Mahomes and they love their Taylor Swift and they got their little jerseys on and, Chiefs Super Bowl. But in reality, he's playing like a QB2 and by the way, against inferior opponents. He ain't playing the best teams in the NFL right now. He's playing dudes and he can't get it done. That game last week was embarrassing. If you won that game last week and you're in the championship, you might not have better options, but you won that game in spite of Patrick Mahomes, not because of Patrick Mahomes. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk that no one will listen to, and I will be called a moron on Twitter all night long. And that's fine. That's fine. I've been called a moron all year. I've been right so far about everything except Keenan Allen. It's the one downside I've had. Everything else, I've been having a great year. Oh, what are you fist pumping for? You want me to start going through your lovely little list of strikes and misses? Because I got it.
Hey, all that matters is my week in, week out count. And I'm still over 65%, baby.
That's not terrible. That's not terrible. I try to shoot for around like 72, but 65, I mean, that ain't bad.
Yeah, with the number of questions that are answered.
I watched the volume with the volume on it. And then I watched what's that guy's name? Michael Fabiano made a great living doing this at like 35%. That's like that was impressive in the other direction. There goes my chances of ever working for NBC. That's okay.
He's my other half.
They wouldn't like my opinions anyway. This is very confusingly worded.
Sorry.
I'm ignoring all the first part of this because it's confusing me.
Same. Standard though. That's the.
Sorry, I just. Wow.
It had to be a Ford touchdown then. Didn't get my notification. I saw that they were in the red zone, but.
Okay. And people have already exited this show like rats off a sinking ship, and I don't blame them. They got their questions answered, and boom, they went to go watch football. Like normally, we don't get down to this low this fast. Assuming I start Kyron Williams, pick one. Okay, it's just basically pick one. Final three. That's actually a good question because it's who's most likely to score a touchdown.
Bro, that was an impressive drive.
I can't host this show and watch the game. So
I know. I'm looking at the stats real quick. David Njoku, 2 for 64. Jerome Ford, 3 carries, 14 yards, and the touchdown on a pass for 7 yards. Joe Flacco, 3 of 4 for 71 yards.
Sure. We told everybody to not play Ford and don't play Flacco, and the Jets defense was going to be good. Yep. Out the window. Good. Okay. You know what? I'm ending this show right now. We're done. Been a hoot and a half, gentlemen. I gotta go. Like I got stuff waiting for me over here off screen. So I'll see you later. See you in 2024. We'll try to do better.
Insane.
Hot start. Great start here. Answer Daniel's actual question here. For standard, who's your RB2? Etienne, Zeke, or Connor?
Zeke.
Yeah.
Just so much volume, man.
It's just who's most likely to score a touchdown because it's a standard league. That's all that is. And it's not Connor against Eagles. Eagles, you don't attack with the running game. You beat them in the secondary. So I'm going to remove that. I would say
he has been seeing an uptick in targets with Marquise Brown out
there. He has. He has done that. I think I'm going to go with you on the Zeke. Feel pretty good about that. My second choice would be Etienne, but I can understand not wanting to play Etienne because he's kind of screwed you a couple times. Hasn't been great. What do you think, Lance? Where are you at?
Maybe no Trevor Lawrence.
I'd go.
That actually helps Etienne in my mind, but
Yeah, his volume is just it's there. And I mean they're playing Carolina, which is obviously a great matchup, so
That's the other part of it, is just I want the huge volume and a huge plus matchup that feel pretty good about that. Danny, I'm sorry. We've already taken 3 mea culpas on this. I'm not taking a fourth. We didn't know. We didn't know that the Jets defense was just going to fall apart within the first 6 seconds of kicking the game off. This is why I keep telling people to not trust the Jets, because they keep doing this.
Well, and I freaking my bet got voided because I had Cooper.
Oh, that's right. That probably would
But
happen.
would have had a 4 touchdown, Njoku over 50 yards.
Jacoby Myers or Deontay Johnson? It's like an actual question.
Terrifying. I'm scared of both. Johnson and Myers. I have Johnson higher.
So do
But
I.
Makes me nervous.
yeah, I'd go
But
Johnson.
given my choices. Okay, so all 3 of us have selected Johnson, so Steve play Myers.
Yeah.
Steve knows how to use the show appropriately. He'll do the opposite of what all 3. If all 3 of us agree, we have to be wrong. So it's got to be Myers. Myers to the moon is clearly the real answer here. Yeah. See, he's known us for a long time. He's worked with us individually. He knows the real
There's
way to
all
actually do
agreement
this.
we're in trouble.
Yeah, we've all agreed on something to go the other way. Just ignore that. We all agreed on the Jets too. Nope. Don't listen to that. Throw that in the trash. Yeah, absolutely. It's been a weird week, man. That Vikings-Packers game is setting up to be the biggest pile of crap that realistically has ever crapped. It's you suspend Jair Alexander and your defense was already bad. You just got lit up by all the bottom teams in the league have taken turns lighting up the Packers defense. So we'll suspend Jair Alexander for not understanding that he's not a team captain. Did anybody see that? Did you see why Jair Alexander got suspended?
Because he was trying to defer.
Okay.
Or he wanted to play defense. He
wasn't a
defer.
captain. He wasn't a captain. He should never have been out there. He wasn't supposed to be taking the coin toss. That's why he got suspended. So they suspended him for that, which is just amazing. And then the Vikings in response are like, no, we'll just play Jaren Hall. Okay. What? Both of these teams are 7-8 and are trying to clinch playoff spots. What? What are we doing? That's part of why I've been high on Chandler. Because you might as well. Like, he's going to get all the work, and I don't trust Jaren Hall as far as I could throw him, which, considering Jaren Hall could probably throw me, is negative yardage. That's kind of where I'm at here. That game is going to be a disaster. And of course, it's the Sunday night game. Happy New Year! Enjoy your New Year's Eve. It's the night game. Can they flex out of that? Can we flex something in on that? Like, can we... Yeah, the Bears could backdoor into the playoffs. They have a 1% chance, by the way. I looked this up. Because I've got all the annoying Bears fans, and I was also listening, let's just say, for the first time in 7 years, I actually am having an easy end of the year. As we knock on wood here and here, as I do that, I've had a little bit of extra time this week, so it's a 1% chance, and I've been listening to the radio, and they're talking about like, oh, the Bears are absolutely going to go to the playoff. 1% chance. So we'll see. Yeah, exactly. You telling me there's a chance? All the annoying Bears fans are like, we're absolutely going to the playoffs. I'm like, that would presuppose you could beat the Falcons, which they could do, and then they have to play the Packers next week. But they need all kinds of weird crap. They need it would probably help them. No, I don't even know if it would help them if that game on Sunday ends in a tie. I didn't look that scenario up. I don't know what that would do. So it's really weird. You need a lot of weird stuff. You kind of need the Packers to win.
They should.
Okay, it would help them. Yeah. So if that game could end in a tie, some sort of 6-6 tie is what I'm envisioning. We do like a 6-6 tie, and that would help the Bears. But yeah, the Bears is not a real strong contender. So, but yeah, that would presuppose the Falcons. Hey Jason, I'm going to blindside you. Who's your running back start of the week?
Oh, I was just going to say Breece Hall scored. So even back out, baby. We're 50%.
Lovely. I don't know what that was. So Breece Hall has now scored.
Yeah. It's insert Raiders running back here versus the Colts.
Whichever running back.
Yeah, because they're both outside of the top 24. Honestly, whichever. I'm really guessing that it's going to be Jacobs out again, mostly because I think he's trying to preserve himself. And he knows he's not going to get any kind of deal with the Raiders. So why try at this point? He's put up plenty of good numbers with that horrible team. And so White on a roll in the groove with O'Connell. It's, again, he's seeing enough for the work. They really like to run the ball. The coach absolutely has made it a point to say, I want to run the ball. He is that old school guy. He is giving 20-plus carries to that lead back, and it's Colts. Like, plenty of opportunity there. They like to turn the ball over. They like to keep it close and have big games, and it's just too many opportunities for him to potentially score and catch passes, and whichever one it is, it doesn't matter. I'm guessing that you're probably going to see 25-plus touches from whoever is the lead back.
All right. Can't really disagree with any of that. Lance, who's your running back start of the week?
2 weeks ago, Devin Singletary put up almost 200 scrimmage yards on Tennessee, and they get Tennessee at home this week. So I'm going to go with Devin Singletary. I think he's in store for another big week, and he might find the end zone this time.
Pretty open and shut on that. I like it. All right. I'm good with that. And this is a little bit of a weird week this week with some of the injuries and lovely kind of schlock that's going on. So I have two. One is more relevant. The one that I actually like is Gus Edwards against Miami. Good matchup, no Waddle. I'm expecting the Ravens to be in control of that game. Sorry, I misspoke. Likely no Waddle. I'm expecting the Ravens to be in. I correct Jason on that all the time, so I have to correct myself when I do it. We don't know that yet, but I think that's where we're headed. So I'm looking for the Ravens to get a lead in that game and try to pound the run, and that's likely going to be Edwards. So I think Edwards has got a really good chance of getting in the end zone in that game. So I like Edwards. And then I have another one, and this is more like if I was desperate with all the injuries, if I was really desperate and I'm waiting until the weekend because I want to see the final inactives, CEH. Because he might literally be the only one left. Pacheco is probably not going to get cleared. We don't know that yet, though.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
Nothing official, but man, it sure doesn't look like he's playing.
Not looking good. McKinnon also hurt, not looking good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Officially got put on IR earlier this week. Forgot about that.
Yeah. I made sure to add it in because that was a very important note.
So you have no one left for the Chiefs in a game where they could actually theoretically do something about it. Like it's Cincinnati. Their run defense hasn't been great. They need somebody out of that backfield because the wide receivers can't do anything. If I was desperate, he's probably still available. I would take a look. It makes me want to throw up in my mouth. It legit, I'm amazed I got through that whole thing without gagging. Because I do not like CEH. He is not efficient. He's not a good football player. We've seen this. We know this. We know all these things.
I mean,
but when you're the only guy.
When he was the only guy, his rookie year, he was a top 12 running back.
Over certain time periods. And
still,
maybe. You'd have to go through and cherry pick that apart. But so
this is going to likely be the running back for the Chargers next year, if I had to guess. So might as well.
Where's Austin Eckler playing? Denver? Is he going to Denver to back up?
Whoever's going to pay him.
Is he going to Denver to back up Williams on a team friendly deal following Melvin Gordon Because
Sounds about right.
this is what typically
For the
happens.
Chiefs,
Like
yeah.
this is what typically happens. Like that's the Chargers will move on. Everyone will give up on him. No one will give him a big money deal. The Broncos will give him $5, and he'll show up trying to like prove that he's not washed and just murder Jaleel McLaughlin. That's what I think is going to happen. That's my stance on where I think we're going here. And I've got history is on my side. Like history has a tendency to repeat itself in the stupidest way possible, and that would be one of the ways to do that. Before we get into sit of the week, Steve has my back here. Steve clearly has the night off because Packers win or tie, Rams lose. This is so many scenarios that have to happen for the Bears to get into the playoffs. The Packers have to win or tie, the Rams have to lose, the Steelers have to beat the Seahawks, the Bucks have to beat the Saints. There's a scenario where if you beat Green Bay in Week 18, you could have the tiebreakers to get the Bears in at 8-9. That's what would need to happen. That is so many long shots would need to occur in that.
The Rams and Steelers are probably the ones that I'm more likely to be like, I don't think that's going to happen. Well, if DK's out, though, that becomes a little more realistic.
You would really need the Rams to just completely fail. The Rams would need to utterly fail in that game because they're playing the Saints, right? Who are they playing?
Bucks are
I'm
playing.
trying to do that off the top of my head without
Played them.
That might have already happened.
Giants.
Yeah.
It's the Jets. Or sorry, Giants. It's the Giants. That's even worse.
Yeah.
So it's even worse. So it's somehow worse than what I thought. Good. Perfect. So yeah, that's why it's a 1% chance. Because mathematically that could happen, but not betting on it. Jason, who's your running back sit of the week?
Good question. Derrick Henry versus Houston. CJ Stroud's back. I'm nervous that they're going to get in that hole. They won't be able to establish a run like they want to, which means a lot of passing, even if it is Tannehill or Levis. I'm really nervous that they're going to struggle to move it and they'll have to throw, which isn't great for the Titans overall. But when that happens, even with we've seen it happen more than once, that Derek gets 15 plus carries and doesn't hit that 40 mark. Texans are actually a pretty good front seven. So I'm scared for him. I mean, he struggled against them in their last matchup as well. And so it's terrifying with the fact that CJ Stroud's back.
Lance, who's your sit of the week?
I'm gonna go Aaron Jones at Minnesota. Last time they played, he only had 29 rushing yards, but he had a great first week of the season, and since then it just feels like he hasn't been healthy all year. And obviously the Vikings got him down pretty good last time, so I don't think he's going to be as effective as where he's ranked on the ECR right now.
Can someone help me with something? Did the Jets just turn the ball over?
Yes. No.
I
Flacco fell down.
I was like,
yeah, I mean, it would have had to have been before that.
Oh, okay.
Give me a sec.
Anyway, look that up later.
Now they scored.
Yeah. But they scored, and then I thought somehow they got the ball back.
No.
Okay.
Kicks to the end zone. Then Flacco starts incomplete pass. Then Ford. Then fumble, but recovered.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So that was probably what you saw. The fumble recovered.
Might be that. I don't really have it on. I have the little
sure
in the corner.
Why not? There's Hunt's touchdown.
Can't see the TV from this far.
The other running back scores.
Game has devolved into a track meet immediately. Just like we all had it. Just like how we all had it.
Just so
Thursday
good.
night game with 400 yards on each side, 800 total yards of offense.
Well,
that's how it goes.
I had Flacco with 322 passing yards, 2 touchdowns though.
Yeah, we're moving along. And for me, the it's gonna get this is looking like nobody wants to play tonight on either side, and it's just gonna be
that was the worry.
Just gonna be a mess. It's just gonna. No one wants to play defense on either end, and we're just gonna run up and down the field on each other, and it's gonna be 48-50. So that's clearly what we're doing.
This is what everybody wanted, right? They wanted a good Thursday night game to end it all. No. Okay.
No. I wanted it to finish how it started, with garbage. That's what I was hoping for reasons that are very selfish.
No, the first game was the Lions and Chiefs, wasn't it?
I don't count that. That's the season opener. That's literally a kickoff. No, it doesn't. You're going to consider that a Thursday night game? There we go. That's what he gets. That's what he gets. He gets to go spend a little bit of time in the penalty box. Go spend a little quick 2-minute penalty there in the. Yeah, that's clearly it's Njoku because he's already got 100 yards and we're not even 15 minutes into the game.
Let's go.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
I didn't even have him at 100 yards. I had him at 88, so I'm still too low. But that was also on 8 receptions and not 4. Golly,
game was already out of control. I never did my my sit of the week, and you guys had some really good ones there as far as like people that are like fully healthy. I have 2 that should be considered. One is Ken Walker, because I don't trust that at all. If he was fully healthy, you might not have better options than this, but he didn't practice on Wednesday. He didn't really practice much today from what I was reading. He might be able to get out there, but I'm expecting him to cede carries to Charbonnet. You might not have better options than this, but I'm expecting a decreased output from Kenneth Walker. And then the other one is actually Chuba Hubbard for similar reasons. Chuba Hubbard's been questionable all week. He's barely been able to get even limited work in. I'm not convinced he's going to play. And he's got a pretty okay matchup against Jacksonville. But if he's gimpy, they might just give it to Miles Sanders 100 times because they don't care anymore. And it's like whoever's healthy. So it's a little scary to have to roll out Hubbard if you had to. Hubbard is one that you probably do have better options than. So I just want to call out both of those because if you're not paying attention, you might or you might not. It's hard. Chubbard's been Chubbard. We're going to call him Chubbard. That's fine. Chubbard has been pretty good down the back half of the season here. So that's one that's a little concerning. I'm a little concerned about both of those players. Not questions of talent per se or matchup, just health. Like I don't know what I'm getting at this point. So I'd be looking around and seeing what we have. Yeah, that's why I'm saying Jason. It's 11. He's at 11.3 because it's like 100 and something yards and like 3 catches or some stupid
4
number.
4 reception, 113 yards.
So yeah,
I had him at 8 with 88, so I'm still too low.
Yeah, game's going exactly how we had it. It's exactly how we.
But since week 12, Chuba Hubbard RB11.
Yeah, exactly. He's good. He's carving out a thing for this. Will be a thing for next year. That will definitely be a conversation for next year. We're gonna have to see who the coaches are and evaluate from there, obviously. But it kind of begs the question: how bad is Miles Sanders? We've been saying Miles Sanders is bad for a long time because it's very inefficient.
Also been injured all year, it feels like. Talk about somebody who hasn't really been on the field
than any other Miles Sanders year where he's hurt all year. Like, how would that be different? The difference is he's playing on a much worse team that, by the way, going to be bad next year too.
Almost certainly. Some changes. Might bring in Higgins.
Did the Jets fumble the kickoff and the Browns defense run it in? That would help me.
Yep.
That would be cool.
My God.
Did the Jets fumble and the Browns just run it in? That would be cool for selfish reasons.
Got to the 12.
They didn't. Yeah.
Damn.
Score.
And they're probably going to go for 2 because their kicker missed the extra.
Did Njoku score again? Is that who
he hasn't scored yet.
It's probably about to.
It's both running backs have scored. Hunt and Ford have both scored at this point.
Lovely. That is
Yep, we fumbled. Dun, da, da, da.
This is why Polo plays so much fantasy, is because he's a Jets fan. Ask me how I know as a lifelong Bears fan. Ask me how I know. because you got to do something on Sunday because you can't watch that crap festival and maintain any kind of sanity. It's not worth your time. Not worth your time at all. Jason.
Oh,
who's your wide receiver starter of the week?
I mean, kind of tipped my hand to it earlier, but Romeo Dobbs gets the Vikings.
You did do that thing.
Yeah, they are clearly on a roll. Watson's out. Wicks is potentially out. Reed has been limited this week. Really, Dobbs is the only one left. So Heyman Kraft are the two players that I am really high on this week. I think both of them can easily be, more for Dobbs. Dobbs is more likely to be a top 25 play for me at this point. And then Kraft is also at the high end due to the fact that nobody else to throw to. Easy matchup, and the Vikings are going to hopefully have to throw it. Who actually knows now? I'm a little more nervous because of Hall, but I doubt it's really going to stop a whole lot. So Love is really spreading it around, and when everybody was out last week, Dobbs scored, and it only took 5 targets, and he's got like 80 yards. So
okay,
very easy to do.
Lovely little game they got going here.
Well, tell him to stop giving the ball to Kareem Hunt.
No.
I mean, it makes us look a little smarter, but
that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed, and it's going over the horizon. Lance, who's your start of the week?
I think Jerry Jeudy's going to get some work in the offense with Jared Stidham coming in.
I've never sent you to the penalty box before, but you are headed. You are on your way.
To help him out a little bit, Marvin Mims popped up on the injury report, so maybe.
Yeah, I mean, even as much as he stunk this year, he's still averaging, 5 targets a game, which isn't much. But you got to figure they're going to try to spread the ball around or do something different with Jared Stidham under center because, I mean...
And Sutton being in concussion protocol might be.
I don't think Sutton's playing in that. I don't think Sutton's playing. Okay. I don't really see what the incentive is for Sutton to play that game. Like,
I understand, but I was also presenting that since I talked about Mims, I should bring up the guy who would actually really affect Jeudy.
I have other ones that are not playing for the Broncos. Let's see. The Dobbs one is interesting. But I have a couple that are players that are actually widely available that I think are worth looking at for a couple different reasons here.
Dobbs is pretty widely available.
Dobbs is widely available. I like the Dobbs one. If for whatever reason that's not going to happen, there are a couple that I'll rattle off. Rashid Shaheed against Tampa.
Yep.
In a game where they are going to have to throw to stay in that game. And despite the fact that the Saints are bad, they are not eliminated yet. And it's a division game. They need that game. They will take some shots at Shaheed. Only takes one. The downside to Shaheed is if he doesn't get the one, you're going to get a 5. That's the drawback. But if you're losing, and this is a game where you've got, like, let's say Sutton not playing, let's say Pittman can't play, which will put a pin in that. We'll circle back to that in a second. But for me, it's Shaheed. You've got some variability here where all he has to do is take one long one and you're good. And you'll get double digits. You might even get like a 20. He had 17 points last week, largely because he just took one to the house. That's the Yep. Just juggle those chainsaws. Yep.
Yeah, I currently have Shaheed statted for 6 receptions and 91 yards.
Yeah, that's maybe a little aggressive, but it's kind of a hair split because I don't know what happened there. It's I think Lance lost audio at some point. I get what you're doing there because you got to hedge it some way because he could very easily just go 3 for 45.
Yeah.
Or it's 4 for 100 and a score. Either is possible. So it's a little
point. I think he gets around 15 fantasy points.
It's a little dangerous, but I do like the idea of Shaheed. And then the next one is if you don't have the stomach for that, I'll give you a khaki pants. Hike your pants up to your nipples and get go and get you some Demario Douglas if he's available, because that's a volume play, that's safety, that's a floor, and we talk about this quite a bit. When Douglas is the only guy, which he has been down the back half of the season, he's been very reliable. He took over that Kendrick Bourne role, and they got to throw it to somebody, as ugly as it is. I know they're Bailey Zappi targets, so they're all ugly and scratched and dented, but you get enough of them, they do matter. And then I have one last one, which really only matters if Michael Pittman can't play. If Michael Pittman fails to clear the concussion protocol and is ruled out again, Josh Downs. Because Josh Downs, if you're looking for about a 10, Josh Downs is a nice, safe, put it in my veins! Put it directly into my veins! In the veins! Straight into my veins! So much veins! Oh my God. Oh, it's a late Christmas present from Trevor Simeon to me. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
2. What the heck?
I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it. Thank you, Trevor. Thank you.
Patterson made this one though.
That is just straight. That is just straight heroin straight into my veins. Love it. Love everything about it. This is why. That is why. Let's go. Oh, I'm gonna embroider that onto a pillow. Put it on my couch. Like
a big old brown pillow with white lettering.
Yep, brown pillow with white lettering, and on the back side of it, it's just gonna be Trevor Simeon looking sad, looking at the ground, walking off. Pillow's gonna cost $200, but I'm gonna cuddle up with it. It's gonna be great.
All right, Lance. Who's your wide receivers?
Hold on. We'll finish the Josh Downs thing real quick because I didn't. Josh Downs, nice safe 10 is what I think. 5 for 50 type of day. If Pittman can't play. If Pittman is playing, I don't like this anymore. We lower Downs when Pittman plays. We've learned this. That those 4 games, kind of an anomaly when they were both playing well when they're on the field together. Now it's not as attractive. And then yes, now Lance, your audio back on, Lance? Did your audio come back?
Yeah, I kind of had to send myself to the penalty box for that one. So,
okay.
My sit of the week, I'd go Stephon Diggs. He's just kind of been trending downward with his production over the past 3 weeks.
No. We're doing start.
Start.
You weren't gone that long.
Well, to be fair, Neil did 3, so he's biding time for you.
Oh.
They were all gold, though.
I have one more that I'm going to throw out if he doesn't hit it. So.
I have one more, too, that I'm keeping in the back pocket. I think it's the same one. We are contractually obligated to do one of these that I think you and I might just have to go at the same time. But I want Lance to go because I don't want to ruin it, because I want to see if Lance can get it.
Odell Beckham, I think, might be. No,
that's not what we're thinking.
That's not what we were thinking, but that's fine.
That's fine if that's what you want to do, but that's not what we're talking about. There's one more that we have to do.
Okay, there's 2 more then, because I have one that's really.
Oh wait, risky. Hold on. I forgot how the show works. He did Jerry Jeudy, then lost his audio. I threatened to send him to the penalty box, so he already did. Start of the week.
Yeah, that's
so.
Right.
Yeah, that's Jason, what I was about. I thought I'd.
You're fine. You did do that. I got distracted by the whole Trevor Simeon pick 6, put it in my veins, victory lap that I started doing there, because that's very important to me. I could really use another one of those. Boy, that will make those beers I'm going to enjoy after this taste super sweet. If he could do that for me again, boy, that would make those just go right down the hatch. Jason, is the player you're thinking of? Does he play for Cincinnati?
I guess that one works too. Yeah.
Okay, because I was gonna say we have to mention Tyler Boyd. Who's the one you're talking about?
Well, I thought you were going to go Wan'Dale Robinson, but
that would also be. We
have a couple now that are kind of on our list.
Those are the ones that are like way down the list, though.
Yeah, but
you'd have to be pretty desperate.
Yeah. The one is more risky that I don't think anybody would really think of is actually DJ Shark.
Oh yeah, I was playing like a 16-team league, maybe.
I know, but still, last week he kind of had a big game. He did well. Young's looking for him. He's
I
finally
attribute that
healthy.
more to the fact the Packers secondary is toast.
Well, especially without Jair. Like I'm more scared of Thielen and more willing to trust Shark, which is terrifying to me. But
yeah, I'd rather just avoid it.
Big plays.
The one that I was thinking of was more Tyler Boyd if Jamar Chase can't play, because we are contractually obligated to mention that Boyd always gets an uptick when either Higgins or Jamar Chase cannot play. So that's worth looking into. And if you look at the ECR right now, he's at like 50, wide receiver 50. So he would definitely come up if Chase was in fact ruled out. So that's one. And then that really kind of ties that all together. The Odell Beckham one is also interesting against Miami just because they're going to have to. That one either pays off early or not at all is kind of my fear.
Yep.
That one is a little scary for me. And then Wandale, I get it. Wandale with Tyrod. He is Jason, you and I have been ahead of the curve on this. He's ascending finally into. It would be great if he could finish the year healthy. That would be great for the long-term shares I have of Wandale Robinson. Just finish the year not on IR, and I'll live with it. Whatever else you get, just don't be on IR at the end of the year, because that's what keeps killing him, is like having to start, hurt, catch up. Don't like that. I'd love for him to be able to go through the end of the year, training camp, OTAs, and have an actual like start to the season. That'd be cool, as opposed to missing all that stuff and then having to run back out there. That'd be fun. Okay, now we'll do sit of the week properly. We'll actually do it. So who's your sit of the week, Jason?
I touched it on it already. Adam Thielen.
Is he that highly rated? I guess he would have to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. He's there. He is 29. Okay.
It's terrifying that he's ranked that high. I'd much rather go with a guy I know who's going to get the big plays, potential for a touchdown. But
I wish I was illiterate so I didn't have to read this. That's
it's terrifying.
That's not what I would be doing. That's not how my rankings work. I can tell you that right now. Like that's
yeah. So if you're looking for a home run swing, it's not going to be Thielen. He's not the one I'm starting to be my top wide receiver on that team. It's just really scary to me to try and roll out really any Panther, not the running back position.
If Chuba Hubbard was fully healthy, I'd be like, we'll play Hubbard. But beyond that, we'll play Chubbard. We'll play a little Chubbard, which is now how I'm just owning that forever.
If
That's
Hubbard's
just
out,
what he's called now.
Sanders is going to be a good play.
Could be, yeah.
It
could be.
Well, he's been getting decent passing work too, so it's like.
Well, yeah, if he got the whole job again.
Yeah,
he was good for those like 6 games when he was actually healthy at the start of the year. He was pretty good.
Getting close, but they just realized that Hubbard's good.
Well, they keep doing that. Hubbard comes in waves.
Yeah,
he shows up, looks terrible, comes back, gets hurt, goes away, comes back, looks terrible, then looks great, then gets hurt again, then goes away, and it's just that's the life cycle of the Chubbard. It's like a tadpole. Like it. That's kind of weird, but that's kind of been his arc for the last couple of years. Lance, you already kind of touched on it, so I already think we know who your sit is. Go ahead and do that real quick.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs has just kind of been trending
Can't say I blame you.
downward. Yeah, and I mean, for where you drafted him, he's definitely not putting up what you drafted him for. Unfortunately, you probably don't have anyone better.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
and it's not a disaster. I want to point out, some people will probably hear that and go, "Oh, Stephon Diggs is like a total bust." No. He's had 1,000 yards and a lot of catches and some touchdowns. I think what you're referring to, Lance, to clarify this. Recently, it's been brutal.
Past 3 weeks, since their bye week, especially, he is.
I want to clarify that.
Struggled.
Yeah, I want to clarify that for the listening people at home, because I don't want to hear, well, Diggs was a total bust in 2023 fantasy. No, that's not what that is. That's not how that works. He's had a couple bad games, and it's really hurt you down the stretch.
Right.
And I question whether or not we will see him play for the Bills too much longer. That will be a conversation that we will have in the offseason about, is Diggs going to go play elsewhere? If that happens, that creates many interesting possibilities, both for the Bills and for Diggs. That would be fun. potentially, depending on how that worked out. But I'm not actually convinced he's going to be there too much longer. I do have to go look up his contract. I do not claim to know Stephon Diggs' contract cold. So I would have to go look that up. But I do get your general point, Lance. It makes a lot of sense. As somebody who's rostered Diggs in at least one league, boy, it was great for a long time, and then it just straight pound town. It has not been fun.
Potential out in 2025.
Okay, so maybe they could trade him if somebody was willing to take that on. That becomes an interesting.
It's a pretty
trade.
fat contract, though.
Yeah, but there are some teams that have money this year. The Commanders, for example, have $80+ million.
Yeah, $22 million cap hit.
So it's 1 year.
In 2025, they cut him.
Maybe you restructure. I don't know. It's an interesting. Maybe they're stuck for one more year. Then might be stuck for one more year. But again, the Commanders have like a pile of money. So we'll have to see what happens. It depends on how bad that relationship actually is in the background. We'll find out. That's a conversation for in the offseason. We'll see how that all situation plays out. I'm not saying it's a high chance, knowing that they still owe him $22 million. We'll have to see. There's limited suitors for this, let's say. But yeah, it's been brutal. But we've seen them bicker internally before, and then they all go make nicey in the offseason, and then we run it back. So it's this week is kind of interesting because the matchups are not dreadful, if that makes sense. So for me, it's actually, and this is going to get me yelled at, I think, maybe not by you guys, but by the greater general populace, I might get yelled at over this one. But for me, it's Pickens. Because I'm not swayed by one game. And I know he had that massive game. So the temptation will be to want to just run him out there. Go look at the other games. Like, I get that it's Seattle and their secondary is not great. But you didn't get to the playoffs because of George Pickens. You got to the playoffs in spite of George Pickens, who's been languishing on your bench. And now you want to run him back out? There would need to be some injuries happening for me to really feel confident in running Pickens out in my fantasy championship game. There would need to be some outline factors as to how I've arrived at playing Pickens here. So,
well, on that same note, Calvin Ridley.
Yeah, we talk about that too. Sure, go ahead, do it.
Trevor Lawrence potentially being out, like it's going to be a tougher matchup.
Scored twice last week, so you start getting confident.
Yeah.
Start getting confident again.
Yep. It just feels like a trap to me. It makes me so nervous to roll him out, especially because I actually have the game statted as Trevor Lawrence starts and plays half of it and then gets hurt and is out for the other half, and Beathard comes in.
Lance, what are you looking at?
I have the game like right off to the right.
You're making these faces that it's very distracting.
I'm sorry. This is definitely a game where I can't help my face.
I'm watching this and I'm like, he's making these faces and I can't tell what's going on. Like he's either got like a game on or there's like a screen.
It's because of the play that just happened, right? With the fumble.
Yeah, Njoku leaps up in the air and then boom, fumbles, and so. Sorry, I'll try to.
No, you're fine. I don't know what's happening. Like, I'm trying to understand what I'm watching, and I'm listening to Jason, but I can see out of my peripheral, like these little reactions, and I'm like, what is he doing? Like, is he watching a movie, or is he got like he's watching Reservoir Dogs? He's never seen it before.
It does.
Yeah.
That gives me over 5, baby. One more. Before. We're right there. 5+. Let's go.
What you've never actually seen Reservoir Dogs before?
No, I was gonna say if I've never actually seen.
I was gonna say that's why I picked that movie, because if you've never seen Reservoir Dogs, the ending of it will make you have faces like that, where it's like, oh, what's happening? This movie is taking a left turn.
Never look at Stuck in the Middle with You again.
Yeah, I knew something messed up was gonna happen, but this is even much for me. Like what?
Hip your waitress.
Yeah, exactly. So that is the Ridley thing makes sense, Jason, where you're talking about statting it two different ways and you sub it out depending on who's actually going to play quarterback. So
yeah, it definitely just makes me nervous for
Calvin
most
Ridley.
of that.
Well,
So
we're going to hold tight end and for a little while because we're going to answer this question first. Eckler or James Cook in half PPR? I believe I have it as Cook. I'm double checking.
Double check, yeah. Oh, Jesus. Control F, I guess.
Put the F's in the chat. I do have it as Cook.
Yeah, I'd go Cook.
Again, depends on who's playing. Because there's no other wide receivers. Eckler looks really good. But otherwise I do have it as Cook.
All right. And then there was another. There it is. Do you trust Jefferson with the QB change? Nope, but I bet you don't have better options.
Yeah, I dropped him from 12 to 18.
He plays in a million standard leagues. I'm just going to go ahead and assume it's one of those. I have him.
Oh, in standard.
I have him in standard significantly higher. This will adjust throughout the week. I need to sit down and look at this again with injury reports that are proper.
Mine are fine.
The issue is, do you trust him? Is a nebulous question. I would say to a point. Daniel, who are your other options? What are my other choices? And is it standard? Because you jump around between standard and PPR, and I don't know which one I'm looking at here. All of these things will change my answer. To answer your question directly, kinda. Largely on his talent alone.
Yeah.
Because I don't believe in Jaron Hall.
Well, also potentially no Addison or Hawkinson.
Possibly.
As like the
also
only
possibly if Hall comes out and immediately poops
weapon.
the bed, then Mullins gets tossed out there, and then I feel fine about it. But that's kind of a tough one. All right, we're in the second quarter here. Let's do. We'll wait for Daniel to respond, and I'm sure we'll get a few more questions here as they come in. Jason, who's your tight end start of the week?
Going back to the well from a long time ago, Logan Thomas versus the 49ers. Quarterback change made me.
This is like playing Russian roulette.
I know, man, but when he came in last week, his targets went up to 8. Makes me a lot more comfortable play a tight end that's seeing 8 targets. Doesn't really matter. I mean, I think you put up 8 fantasy points. It's a match that they're going to have to throw in. I very comfortable throwing him out there just because of pure volume at this point. So, and it's a smarter veteran quarterback. So you usually go to your best players. Part of why we saw McLaurin have so much success immediately when he came in. I would expect Thomas to also.
And then kind of a little bit last week when he came in and he had nothing all day, and then he got like 35 yards pretty quickly. It's because Brissett's a real quarterback and hasn't been getting whooped.
He has been using. Logan Thomas becomes Curtis Samuel, like it should be.
We'll see if that actually happens, because the 49ers might just pound them in the face like that. But I get it.
Garbage time too. So
right, there is going to be some garbage time more than likely, and I'm going to potentially sideswipe Lance, and I'm just going to go right now, and I'm going to take Tucker Kraft. I did it, and I did it because I knew it. I could see it. I could see the light in his eyes, and I'm going to take Tucker Kraft right now, and I'm going to screw him. Happy New Year, buddy. It largely has to do with the fact that I don't even like Tucker Kraft. I'm not even a Tucker Kraft guy. It's all about the fact that they have nobody else that's actually really healthy at this point, and the Vikings secondary is bad, and the Packers defense also bad. So this game is going to have a lot of volume, and I think Kraft might be the recipient of it. And I knew he was going to do it. Now I have to make Lance read. This is normally my role in the podcast where I have to pivot last second and I have to read. But I just yanked the carpet out from under. Super aggressive.
You did.
I know. I got him. I got him good. I got him good.
There's a couple of options here.
There are
You
a
gotta-
couple options. There are a couple options. I just wanted to be a jerk because I saw my opportunity to be a jerk and I shot my shot. I was very confident that he was gonna pick Kraft, and I'm like, this is a dead solid lock. I'm just gonna drink the carpet.
Yeah,
Happy
'cause
New Year.
I'm surprised that, like, for example, Kylan Granson is too low.
No, he might be an interesting option with the Vikings switching quarterbacks. I'd probably go Josh Oliver. And with Hawkinson tearing his ACL and MCL, there's, I guess, some question as to how soon he is going to be back. So if there's going to be a tight end in this offense who's going to be filling in,
Hawkins got put on IR, so I can answer that for you right now. Next year is the answer to that question.
Well, that's exactly my point of, like, next year, is he going to be ready for the start of the season, or will it be a few months into it? So I think they're going to get Josh Oliver as ready as they can. They're going to get Jared Hall comfortable with as many short completions as he can get just to build up his confidence. So
you meant Johnny Munt.
Johnny Munt, yeah. No, we
what
can
you
go.
meant to
We can
say.
go Johnny Munt or CJ Ham. I mean,
Hey, so
wherever
you're being
we're
a real
going.
munt right now. That's it. That's my time. Tip your waitresses. I'll see you in 2024. I'm out. It's the funniest thing I've ever said. At least there was an audience.
Now, the other one I thought you might go with would be Tanner Hudson.
Hmm.
We talked about either with Chase potentially out, another target there. Kind of gotten to see a handful of targets, been pretty effective with them. It's granted it's the Chiefs. If they actually put up points in this game, could be useful just because of volume. And then worth watching, of course, is Patriots tight end, whoever it is.
Yeah, just whatever individual.
Because they're going to score.
That person, like,
they're going to get a red zone target. So
yeah, ranking some of these, I'd say, like, if we had to rank them, the way that I would do it would be, unsurprisingly, be Kraft 1, and then it would be Logan Thomas 2, and then we kind of did Lance dirty there. made him have to read. Him have to read. Like,
also somebody who's been coming on, they've been using him a decent amount.
Oh my!
In a game that they're going to be throwing, they need a third target, fourth target, I guess.
I'm happy with myself. I know he's not happy. He's not happy with me, but I'm happy with myself. I'm having fun. I could tell because I could see him reading, honestly. And then he leaned back. And I'm like, I already know what this is. I'm going right for the jugular. Like, anyway, we'll hold off on doing the sit of the week here for a second because, all right, Daniel's back. He's talking about his other Jefferson options here. It's a PPR league, so his other options would be Deontay, Devontae, Addison, Waddle. Okay, well, we can just take Addison and Waddle kind of out of this for a second because I'm not totally convinced either one of those people are playing.
And it's going to be Adams. Like that. That's my answer.
So you want to play Adams over? It's not Deontay. We just take Deontay out of this too. So it's either Jefferson or Adams is what this boils down to. And it's PPR. I gotta go flip my rankings.
Yep. I had him back to back, and then with the fact that they moved it to Jaron, I dropped Jefferson down, but Adams was even ahead of him then. So
okay. Lance, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I'd probably side with Adams too, just for the consistency and whatnot with Aiden O'Connell. So
yeah, except for last week, that wasn't there.
Well, that's because he had Snead on him. That happens every time they play. That's why I called the Myers game, like, when they played the first time, I'm like, they're going to be all over.
And then even that didn't happen. And then we couldn't even get that.
And had like 34 yards or something.
That first quarter, you were on your way, and then we're not going to sweep it. I would probably just roll out Jefferson. I still have Jefferson a couple spots higher. So, but it's 2-1. I concede that I'm on my island there. Steve did weigh in on that. Well, not that specifically, but the original question. Not overly worried about JJ. helps a lot that Jair Alexander's a moron. I agree with that. That's why I didn't lower Justin Jefferson as much, because Jair Alexander's an idiot and got himself suspended. This is the thing. This is why I can't lower Jefferson as much as you guys. I know it's bad quarterback situation with Hall. I get that. I do. The Packers defense has been so bad. So bad. They've been getting torched by everyone. They got torched by Bryce Young. They got torched by everyone. And then now their best secondary player isn't playing.
Well, to be fair, he hasn't played most of the year already. So
I know, but like that's not. But okay, fine. That doesn't negate my point. They're still getting gashed. Like there's still the original point was they're getting gashed. So it's like, even if Hall looks like crap, they'll throw Mullins back in there. This, to Steve's final point. So what happened?
Elijah Moore touchdown.
Okay, that doesn't hurt me. Fine, good. All right. Fine. I had to think about that for a second because he's played for both teams.
Yeah, I know.
He's played for both teams, so I had to literally wait. What year is it? Hold on. I don't know where I am. Cue the Robin Williams meme of what year is it? I don't know if that helps or hurts me. It kind of neutral.
Oh, come on, baby. I just needed a Njoku touchdown. I'm done. Let's go.
Boy, that might actually happen. That might actually happen. Anthony's getting roasted. I'm sorry, Anthony, because I've watched Anthony just literally pull his hair out.
To be fair, I put Joe Flacco at a low line with 225 plus yards. He's already at 215. So I need 10 more yards of that, and then I need Njoku to score, and I'll be good. Because Elijah Moore was also over under 35.5. So
okay. Okay. So yeah, it's right now it's 2-1. Adams over Jefferson. I'm on the Jefferson Island. And then Daniel is kind of restating a question here. PPR flex pick 2. Zeke, Adams, Jacobs, Singletary, Addison, Waddle, Achane, Deontay. I'm riding Zeke out there.
Well, that's just it. It's probably Adams and Zeke, but it's so tempting to play Jacobs if he goes. I just don't think I could do it, even if he does.
No, I think I'm going to play Zeke and Adams and dance with the ones who brought me. Well, that doesn't necessarily apply to Zeke, but recently with the volume, since Ramondre officially got ruled out and then they finally put him on IR. So he's not a threat anymore. That's over. Season's over. Yeah. So for me, it's Zeke because he's going to get that volume. Adams should get that volume. I'm expecting a better number than last week, just not a Justin Jefferson number. Jacobs has problems. Addison has problems. Waddle has problems. Achane has problems. Singletary that's where I was working. It's where I'm working. Is the top 2 on here I like the most. The one that is intriguing to me is Singletary, as Lance kind of pointed out. So I don't like it enough to sit either Zeke or Adams for it, but he would be my third choice. If something was to happen, I would tee up Singletary and ride him out there. Lance, do you want to redo your thing from start of the week in case people showed up late? Because it was good.
No, yeah. I mean, last time, 2 weeks ago, he had almost 200 scrimmage yards. Didn't score. He's probably going to get in the end zone. So I like Singletary. I'd probably go Adams here too, just with the upside. It's a PPR, so every reception counts. And Zeke's a very close one, but I just think Singletary offers a little more upside here.
Yeah. Okay. So if wait, I missed the very end of that. Zeke. So you're saying Zeke and Adams is yes? Agree with that or no? Not agree with that.
I'd go Singletary and
Singletary.
Adams.
Okay.
Yep.
Over Adams.
Over Zeke.
Over Zeke. Okay. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. What do I have? Jason, how do you answer that? Answer that. Stop typing out of the corner of my eye. It's distracting me.
Sorry. I was in our Discord.
I see that, and it literally popped up, and it totally derailed my train of thought halfway through that. I didn't hear what Lance was saying because I started reading with my left eye and trying to listen to him with the other part of my brain, and I can't do both.
I already answered. It's Zeke and Adams. I like Singletary, but if you're wanting to play it safe, Zeke
you and I
right
agree.
There.
Lance would play Singletary over Zeke. Got it.
Over Zeke or over Adams?
He said Zeke.
Over Zeke.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. That's fair. I thought he'd go both running backs because that's a really safe play.
That
both
would be the
PPR volume.
That would be the safety safe, super safe, I belt my pants up to here like it's 1935. like that's belt and suspenders.
Yeah.
Is if you
Full
want to
button
play
down,
both
belt
running backs.
suspenders.
Like, yeah, that's the belt and the suspenders for
Maybe
sure.
a pocket watch.
Right, because he's saying he's going to play Jefferson and Evans
Yes.
as his wide receivers, and that's what the other part of this is, and that makes sense. So,
I mean,
Laporta
at that
or
point, you
Ingram,
might as well play it safe and just go with the 2 running backs.
you could. I wouldn't look at you weird.
Especially with Lattimore out.
But I'd be
Evans
sitting
is
Adams.
about
I'd
to-
be sitting Adams for this reason.
Okay, there you go.
Got roasted like chestnuts. Like, that's
Again, that was
and
a
then-
Snead thing, not so much an
yeah.
Adams
I'm not.
thing.
That's why I'm not like expecting that. To
All right. Again, depends on who's healthy here. It's probably going to be Ingram, but I can't blame you for playing Laporta. Both of them have played pretty well. Let me see. Last week. Oops, wrong one. Hey, you're back.
I am.
I mean, last week it was quite the difference between the two. But the week before that, it was flipped. So it's very much. I'm more willing to trust Ingram still with the fact that Zay Jones and Christian Kirk are out. He's kind of the only other option there, and he's not going to be seeing a top corner.
I have Laporta 2 spots ahead of Ingram, and it's largely because I have a feeling the Cowboys are going to attempt to bracket cover Amon-Ra St. Brown for most of the game, and then they're gonna say, beat me if you can beat me with your tight end and Jahmyr Gibbs, you try. And that's what I think they're going to try to do, because I think the Cowboys are probably not very happy right now, and they're going to be pretty motivated for this game because they need this now. This has become important that they win this game. Whereas the Lions, they're going to try their bestest. They're going to try their bestesses, but I'm not convinced that defense can stop the attack on the other side. So I'm expecting them to be in catch-up mode for a lot of the game, and I think the Cowboys know that. And when they're going to try and take away their best player, which is St. Brown. So see if you can beat me with your ancillary pieces. Who do you like, Lance, between those two?
I got to go with Laporta. I mean, Ingram's been really good this year, but Laporta's knocked it out of the park more often than not. And I think for that reason, you just got to side with him.
Since Christian Kirk's been out, Ingram is tight end 1. That's the only thing.
I get that. I do get that. We talked about that for a number of weeks about how Ingram, he's getting a lot of work. So
and it doesn't help now that Zay's also dealing with injury and likely out. So
I just wish I knew who was playing quarterback.
That's the more terrifying part of it.
Daniel, I know we'll see you on Sunday. Ask this question again on Sunday, and let's see who's actually playing quarterback. It might make a difference.
Yeah.
But on a Thursday, that's where we are. And standard flex. Pittman, Collins, Connor, Zeke, assuming I am starting ETN at running back.
I'm looking at yards, and it's going to be Collins.
Oh, Nico Collins. That took me a second. I
Yes,
don't know
sir.
why. Took me a second. I don't know why. That took me a second.
Because I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure I have him going over.
Yeah, I'll double check this too. Freaking standard. Stop playing standard, Daniel. Play in real leagues.
Yeah, I currently have him going
These
for
8-team standard leagues are killing me.
105 yards and a touchdown. And that's being pretty conservative with his yardage because the Titans are
I get why Daniel has so many questions because he plays in a lot of like 8 and 10 team standard leagues. And I can tell these leagues have been running for a long time because they use a very generic rule set. And these questions are actually really hard because you're picking between good options. And it gets dicey where it's like, pick the guy who's going to have a 15 versus the guy that's going to have a 20. And I'm like, I get why you have so many questions because this must be a nightmare. Trying to set these lineups must be really hard because like that.
I feel so bad for you. Championship week with all these shiny toys.
Yeah, he's in a lot of championship games too, I bet. It does seem like he's got a lot of championship leagues. Maybe he's playing against the dogs. Maybe the dogs play. That's what it is. No, that can't be it. They don't have little dog thumbs. They couldn't use a keyboard.
No opposable thumbs.
You have to invent little dog thumbs. That wouldn't work. It is hard. I know. I'm here every Thursday.
That's what she said.
I want to send him to the penalty box, but I can't. He's scheduled to lose by 5 is the answer to this. Hold on. I got to double check my flex rankings because he's got flex ranking questions. It's probably, as much as I want to just play Pittman and be done with it, I don't think that's going to work in this case. Pittman, no. Who do you like, Lance?
Honestly, I'd probably go Zeke here, just for the sake of volume, and it is standard. I feel like if you're going Zeke, you're going to get enough guaranteed volume, whereas, Collins is in there. You don't know if it's going to be a Brown week. Pittman, you're kind of banking on Gardner Minshew. Zeke, if you're just dealing with standard, you're dealing with he gets the ball, controls how much yardage he gets generally. So I'm going to lean running back when it comes to that. So I'd probably go
I'm actually right there with you. I just double checked my actual flex rankings just to triple check. I'm just going to play Zeke. Yeah. Because it comes down to who's most likely to score a touchdown. And I think there's every chance he just falls into the end zone from the 1 yard line and it pays you off for the rest of the week. Whereas Collins, there's variability in that. I know why you're doing Collins. It's because you're assuming with Stroud coming back in that he's going to pick up right where you left off. I know what you're doing.
Well, I mean, last time they played, Noah Brown went for 8 catches, 82 yards, and a touchdown. Comparing Noah Brown to Nico Collins, they're not the same.
I can't.
For me, going just to 105 is very conservative number.
Can't. Well, for you especially. I know how your lizard brain works. I'm very familiar with it. That's all right. Well, it's two for Zeke and 1 for Collins there, Daniel. All right.
I have 8 at 95, so that's pretty close.
That's assuming Hill starts. I think you're fine with that. I think Tyreek Hill is playing and St. Brown is also going to play. So I think you'll be fine there. So I think you're good with that. I think that's where we are.
Keep forgetting he's not on the Cowboys.
All right. Jason.
Yes.
We teased it and then we paused it.
We did?
Yeah. Who's your tight end instead of the week? We're going to questions.
My bad. Well, I'm going to go Dallas Goedert versus the Cardinals. It's just a lack of volume. The fact that I really think that they're going to run the ball with Swift. And honestly,
please do that. Oh God, I would love that. Do that. That's for very selfish reasons that are super selfish. Please go ahead and do that. Sounds amazing.
I'm actually expecting him to score. And on top of that, I mean, even Kenneth Gainwell becomes a flex option just because I do think they are able to really just dominate this game and not have to worry about it. So I'm nervous that there's not enough volume for Goddard to actually see enough targets to be valuable. You're really hoping he falls in the end zone, which he can easily do. But with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, I mean, Brown is really hungry right now. He is sure frustrated from how he's been playing, and I would expect him to really just fill in nicely here and dominate this game. So I'm nervous for Goddard because of that.
All right, Daniel, who do you like? Who do you want? Who are you sitting?
What's up? Me?
Lance, who are you? I think I called you Daniel because I'm literally reading.
Yeah, I think you did too. I was thrown off by it. I'd sit Darren Waller. I know they have Tyrod Taylor starting now, but Darren Waller just hasn't been consistent enough for me to buy into it in championship weeks. So, and you're going against the Rams, which technically is a good matchup for tight ends, but I feel like Aaron Donald is just going to plow through that Giants offensive line and shut down anything that they're going to try to get going. So I'd probably go Darren Waller here.
Boo to this.
Yep. Jermaine Johnson.
Boo to that. Super boo.
However, Brees Hall, 2 for 32, 5 for 42, 74 yards already, baby.
This is a tough one because all the tight ends that you would want to play have pretty good matchups.
Yep.
So it's a weird week for this. And for me though, it's
You're gonna do it, aren't you?
Do what? What am
Travis
I doing?
Kelce.
No, I couldn't do that. No, it's gonna be David and Njoku. Yep, it's gonna be David and Njoku. That's what it's gonna be. Yep, 100%. Do that. No, for me, it's gonna be Gerald Everett because they have him rated really high, and I'm just not convinced. I know he's been seeing an uptick in targets since Allen's out and Stick came in because they don't have anyone else to throw it to.
Palmer's potentially out.
Palmer might be out, so it's a little bit of a risky click on that one, sitting Everett. But of all the ones in the top 12 that I think has the highest potential to bust and just fall on it flat on its face, it's the one playing for the Chargers. Because it's just the way that goes. Division game, Stick at quarterback. We'll just have to see how it goes. But that's a tough one. All right.
The other good one is likely, just because of
possibly likely, yes.
I mean,
but here's where we're gonna go here because we're getting to the end of the game or the end of the half, and we're getting ready to sign off for the final time. We have
in 2024.
In 2023, it is still 2023.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know what year it is in the haunted castle where you were at, but say hi to Eddie Murphy for me. We've got one last question from Angela, and McBride or Kittle? McBride for me.
I think that's also who I have.
I'm assuming PPR.
Yeah, I'd go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd go McBride.
And we have one last question, and it is the question of the year. Pizza or leftovers for dinner? The old rail splitter.
Really depends on the leftovers.
Yeah.
It does really depend on what the leftovers are.
But even so, it's pizza.
The answer is pizza. Unless you're going to delay the gratification of pizza till tomorrow.
If it's leftover
tomorrow
pizza,
is Friday.
leftover pizza.
Tomorrow is Friday, and you could do Pizza Friday. That is traditional. That's a traditional thing. So
there's also a football game on Saturday. I prefer to go pizza and wings for football. So if you're doing that tonight, then if you don't do it tonight, I'd wait till Saturday and have it for the Saturday game.
No, because Saturday is tacos.
No, tacos are Tuesday.
Oh,
see?
God. Yeah, you people.
Really? Tacos are every day?
That's true. That is true. There's your answer.
Pizza.
No, see if that's the thing. Depends when this was made because the baked ham and green bean casserole won't last very long because it's ham. It goes off quickly. You got to eat that.
He's going to eat it tomorrow. There's no football tomorrow.
You got to eat that quickly if you intend to. If it'll keep until tomorrow, do it tomorrow. But if it won't and you're worried about that, eat it tonight. Just get pizza tomorrow after work. It'll be fine. Oh, you know what? No, it is pizza because tomorrow everybody's going to get slammed. All the pizza places will get slammed tomorrow. Tomorrow will suck. Do it tonight. Do it tonight. Do it tonight. And go that way. There you go.
So that is Matter Saturday.
Either that, sure. Well, Saturday they're also going to get slammed. Probably worse. If you're going to do it Saturday, order early and get enough to get lunch and dinner.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, oh wait,
a lot of basketball games Saturday.
That's lemon pepper wings. That's what that is.
Mega habanero.
Strip club at Buc-ee's. And with that, we are getting to halftime. We have answered all the questions. We've cleared the backlog. We've given our opinions on who to start and who to sit. So we're going to go around the horn here and everybody kind of say goodbye. We're going to sign off here one last time for Roster the People in 2023. So, Jason, final comments, questions, concerns, public outcries, well wishes. What do you got?
I mean, I'm just happy that we got people here that have made it to the championship. Congrats.
We did do
super
that.
Awesome. I will be back on Sunday, so this isn't the last time you're seeing me. But I really just hope you guys are safe. Enjoy the rest of this game. It's kind of shaping up to be something. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah. I really appreciate your audience is what it really comes down to. I love all of Daniel's and Polos, and I mean everybody that watches it. Appreciate you guys because you make it worth it.
Lance, comments, questions, concerns, public outcries. Final time for 2023. And it is the final time for Lance.
I have a long list of public outcries, but it was definitely neat going from the Making the Cut show to this one and just seeing the different style of audience. And this audience for Roster of the People has been super fun and interactive.
They don't just come and ask their football questions and leave.
No.
We spend more time talking about the Showtime Grill.
Yeah.
A lot of time talking about that Showtime Grill.
Oh yeah. But no, it's been fun. Showing up with you guys every single week and kind of seeing how things go and seeing the inner workings. So thank you guys.
You see how the sausage gets made for sure on this show. The show where we do the show meeting during the show. Literally how this proceeds. That is our MO. And so for me, I appreciate everybody. I want to echo what Jason said about everybody tuning in. We've had a blast doing this year. Appreciate everybody who's tuned in with us along the way. But a special shout out to a lot of the, our regulars, especially like Daniel, Anthony, Dr. Squatch, Polo, that guy named Steve who wanders in here periodically to give us a hard time.
Tamara,
Skylar, Tamara. Like all the regulars that are here week in, week out, making it fun. Danny's been coming around. We have three Daniels. I don't know why that's a thing, but it is, and it's like so. Mike Lowry, all the people.
Lowry.
Yeah, Mike Lowry, all the people who come in here. Appreciate everybody who comes in. We're happy for the patronage, happy for the clicks, happy for the ad revenue, and but especially the regulars. Shout out to all you guys because. It wouldn't be the same show without you guys coming in and chopping it up with us and talking about Polo's wife's book club and the book club update, the strip club at the Buc-ee's, Anthony, the Showtime Grill. Got a lot of mileage out of that Showtime Grill. So we're gonna have. So just really appreciate everybody. Glad you guys find enjoyment in this. We wouldn't be doing it without you guys. And glad, hopefully, you guys found some of this advice useful. I know some of it statistically had to have made a difference, right? Like, so we had, and then we had a lot of changes this year. Thanks to everybody who signed up for roster resolutions. We're bringing that back for next year. You'll see some changes for the schedule for next year that we've been discussing in the background. So stay tuned for that. We're going to make those announcements in the off season. So there's going to be a little bit of a different flow to how we do this next year, but I think everybody will actually enjoy that more. I think it'll also make the show function a little better. So I don't know what he's reacting to. I can't tell.
Jerome Ford just freaking housed it 50 yards.
Oh, that's fun.
Sorry you sat him. Golly.
That really does sum it up for us. And with that, I should just end the show right there. That really should be the end of this. The full end of it. But you're always welcome. You guys always welcome. So yeah, we'll be drip feeding out the changes and kind of the adjustments for next year as we kind of wind it down because we haven't fully baked all of it. So I don't want to go through all of it here, but we will have a proper rundown in the off season of how we're going to actually produce all this content next year. So there are some changes coming. We think there's going to be some very positive changes and some very interesting kind of shakeups to how we're going to do this a little bit differently, especially to be able to churn out even more start-sit advice because people won't tolerate us doing less. So we've got some changes in the hopper for that. But yeah, you won't see me, but I will be around on Sunday because I'm a lucky person that runs the chat for that, as some people know. So how'd that Izzy Abanikata thing work out for you, Jason? Remember that? Yeah, not well.
Yeah, that's fine. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, it wasn't fine. It was not fine. I took my victory lap immediately on that. But yeah, I love thanks to everybody for that too. The final countdown has been a huge success, an unmitigated success actually, and we were a little nervous about that in the beginning. So
Terrifying.
we've got a lot of like positive things that we're looking for next year to try and make this. We're going to try and produce even more content for next year because we literally are gluttons for punishment. So we're working on some different stuff for how that's going to work. We're going to fine tune this because folks who've been around for a while know it's a different format for us from last year to this year. A lot of change, and we're trying to get our eye in with how this is going to work long term. So stay tuned for that. We'll have a full breakdown in the off season. Should be a lot of fun. But we'll be back for the draft. Obviously, we'll have a draft thing like we always do. We're gonna have off season content like we always do. So we'll be around, and stay tuned for that because we definitely have some fun ideas on how to figure out how we can execute some additional fun stuff during the off season as well. So stay tuned for all that fun stuff. Follow us on our Discord because we're still going to be doing it. And then I do want to shout out one last thing. We are done on Thursdays, but Mason and Vishal go through the end of the Super Bowl. So check out the Friday show for Locked In because those gentlemen go all the way through the end of the Super Bowl. I'll tell you right now, they have some very good bets, especially for the Super Bowl, because they go deep dive on all the props and they do a whole show about it on Friday. Highly recommend following them. I know how you people are. You're going to get all itchy the minute fantasy football ends. And you're going to I gotta get my bets in. And so we have a vehicle for that. That'll be on Fridays. So check that out. It's been going all year, but it's funny. They actually usually see an uptick in traffic the closer we get to the playoffs.
As we go away, they get.
As we leave, they go up. So check that out on Friday. That's going to be very entertaining as it always is. And you can ask them what to eat. Mason will answer you.
Yeah.
Mason will 100% answer that question.
And if he doesn't, I'll yell at him and he will.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, we'll go browbeat him in the Discord into doing it. So yeah, you can ask him what to eat. It's completely fine. But yeah, check them out on Fridays. One last final countdown on Sundays. So tune in for that. Get your last minute championship questions answered. Jason and I will be up bright and early dealing with that. Really that early, I guess. Early for me on a Sunday. So we're looking forward to that. And then yeah, stay tuned for the off season. We got a lot of fun stuff coming. And just one last time, appreciate all of you. Feel free to hit up the Discord, ask us your questions between now and Sunday, obviously as well. Good luck for the rest of tonight. Good luck one last time on Sunday. And we will see you in the off season on the other side. But until then, keep up the nonsense.